Hello students, today we are going to discuss the practical number 15 for the subject Informatics Practices class 11. We have already discussed the 14 practicals in this series. If you didn't watch those practicals, I will recommend you to go and watch those practicals to get the better understanding of this particular practical. For your simplicity or convenience, I have created a playlist on my channel. For all those practicals, you can find with the 11 IP practicals. So today we are going to discuss a new practical, that is to find the sum of the squares of the first 100 natural numbers. Okay, so before starting that, let me give you what we are going to discuss today. First we are going to discuss the problem, then we are going to discuss the steps to solve it, and then what we are going to do, we are going to write the Python code, and then we are supposed to run the code in Spider editor. If you are using any other editor like ideally Jupyter, Sublime, it's fine, it will work in that order also and demonstrate it. Okay, so this is the thing that we are going to do. So let's get started without any delay. So first I am giving you the problem. Given 100 natural numbers, first 100 natural numbers, you are supposed to calculate the sum of squares and print it. So if you want, first I will convert this problem to given the first n natural number, so that you can this n user will input, and if you enter 100 value, it will automatically count for the 100. So this way I am doing. Another way is to make the static program that 100, then it will always calculate for 100. But what we are going to do, we are going to take the n as a input from user, and you may extend this problem for any natural number. Up to any natural number, it will print the sum of the square. So what is natural number? Before we start this problem, you should know what is natural number, then only you will be able to get the idea of the problem. Natural number is what? A positive integer number is known as natural number. Okay, for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on up to infinity, all these are the natural numbers. It should not be a floating point number, it should be an integer number, and it should be a positive. We don't include 0 as a natural number. Sometimes we include, but sometimes we don't include. So for now, as per the definition, I am not going to include the 0 as a natural number, because natural number starts from the 1. So what we need to do, what is expected is what is the square? You should know square. Square means 1's square is what? 1 into 1, that will be 1. 2's square is what? 2 will be multiplied 2 times. So this is where you can calculate the square. 3's square is what? 3 into 3, that will be 9. 4 square is what? 4 into 4, that will be 16. Like this you can calculate the square. Okay, so same way, what will be the square of n? N's square will be n into n, that will be n square. Okay, so this way you need to calculate the square first, and then you need to add the squares. So what is he is asking, you need to calculate the square, then add it. 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square. He is asking to add the squares of up to number 100. First 100 natural numbers square sum he wants to print. So for that purpose you need to write the code, but we are making this program generic, because if we use this static, if you will apply a loop and always calculate up to 100, then this program will be static. We are going to always, it will return the value, that will be sum up to 100 numbers square elements, but square of the numbers. But what we want, let's suppose I pass 3, then it should calculate the sum of the square numbers up to 3. So if I pass the n, it should add 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square, like this. So what it will be the answer? 1 plus 4 plus 6, that will be, oh sorry, 9 or 4 13 or 8 1 14 14 should. If you pass the n value as 2, then it should print 1 square plus 2 square, that will be the 1 plus 4, it should print the 5. If you pass the n value as a 1, then what it should print? 1 square only, that will be 1. If you n value pass, let's say 4, then what should this program should do? 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square, and then what will be the value? 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus, that will be 16, and then 1 plus 4 5, 5 plus 9, it will be 14, 14 or 16, that is 30. So this way this program should return. So what actually we need to build the logic. So how to, first you should know how to calculate the square in the Python. So to calculate the square in the Python, what we need to do, either you can use the power function POW, and let's say 2 raised to power 2 you want to calculate, then this function will return you 4. Either you can use double star operator, this operator also used to calculate the power, it also return the 4. Either you import the math library and use the math.power function, and you pass the 2 comma 2, it will also return 4. So there are 3 ways in Python to calculate the power. So you may use any one of the way you like. I will recommend directly use this method, it is the simplest method. You need not to call any function, you need not to import any library. So I am going to use this way to calculate the power of the number. So if you a double star b means what it will be written? A raised to power b. So if you want to calculate the, let's suppose this, let's try to draw this, and you should get it. Okay, so now how to calculate the let's suppose you want to calculate n value is 3, then you are supposed to calculate 1 double star 1 plus 2 double star 1 double star 2, sorry, 2 double star 2 plus 3 double star 2. Okay, this information we want. If you apply, it will square 1 square will be 1, 2 square will be 4, 3 square will be 9, and it will be 14. So this way you need to do, and to do the sum up to number n, you can use the for loop. Let's suppose you want to calculate this program. Let's try to understand this logic first. Let's suppose the problem is asked to you is this. Sorry. So what is the problem given? Let's suppose if you understand this program, then you will be able to understand the logic of the square also. So let's try to understand this. Let's suppose I am giving you, write a Python program to sum the natural numbers up to n. Let's suppose sum of natural numbers up to n. If you are supposed to write this program, what I want, if n I equals to pass 2, then it should add 1 plus 2 equals to 3. If I pass n equals to 3, it should do 1 plus 2 plus 3, then it should do 6. If I pass n equals to 4, then it should do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 10. So this program I want. If I am able to write this program, then I can easily write the program to calculate the sum of the squares of the first n natural numbers very easily. For that purpose, you can use the for loop, you can use the while loop, or you may use any other logic that you want. So let me try to explain it with you while loop first. So let's suppose you have entered the value of the n, let's suppose 5. Then what you need to do, you should start some while loop. Let's suppose I equals to 1, and then you should continue this while loop up to 5 while I is less than equals to n, and you will pass n value is 5 already. So and then you will create some variable sum equals to, let's suppose 0, and then you will add sum equals to sum plus, and then you will add the I number. So this loop will keep on incrementing the value of the I by 1, and after this for loop and you print the value of sum, it will be your sum of the n natural numbers. So this is the program to calculate the sum of the n natural numbers. If you understand this program, then there is nothing in this program to convert it for the sum of the square of the numbers. You can very easily convert it. So let's try to understand this program first, how we are calculating, how we are applying this loop to solve this particular problem. Okay, if you understand this logic, then it will be very easy for you to calculate the square. Some of the students might got the idea what actually I am going to do to calculate the sum of the squares of the n natural numbers. Okay, you can guess very easily, because this is the only logic you need to do. Just you need to change one line and this program will be converted for the sum of the squares of the n natural numbers very easily. So let's try to understand this logic first. So let's suppose I have entered the value of n as 5. I will take this n value from the user using integer input method in the actual program. So let's take n is 5, then n value is, let's suppose 5, initially it is 5, and then some value is initially 0. I am going to explain the logic. Some value is, let's suppose it is 0, and I value is, let's suppose initially it will be 1 initially. Okay, so what we are doing, n equals to 5, so while loop, apply while loop, 1 is less than, I is less than equals to n is equal to 5, so 1 is less than equals to 5, condition true. What will happen, sum equals to, some value is already what, 0, 0 plus I is what, 1, so it will return 1, so some value will be updated with the 1 now, sum equals to 1. Now I value is incremented, I equals to I plus 1, so I will become now 2. Now this loop will execute again. 2 is less than equals to 5, because I is less than equals to n लिखा हुआ है, so 2 is less than equals to 5, then what we will do, again execute this line, sum equals to sum plus, sum value is already 1, 1 plus I value is what this time, 2, so 1 plus 2 is 3, so sum value will be 3 this time, and I value incremented, I value become the 3. Now loop will execute again 3 is less than equals to 5, condition is again true. Now this line will execute again, sum equals to, sum value is what, 3 plus I value is what, 3 here, so 3 plus 3 is 6, so sum value will become now 6. Next time I is equals to I plus 1, I will become the 4. Now again loop will execute, 4 is less than equals to 5, condition again true. We are going to sum equals to, sum value is 6, 6 plus I value is 4, so 10, so sum value will become the 10. I will again increment, I value is 5, 5 is less than equals to 5, 5 is less than equals to 5, condition again true. These are all condition true conditions. Okay, again true. Now sum equals to sum plus I, sum equals to, sum value is already 10, 10 plus I value is 5, so 15, so it will become 15, some value will become 15, I value is incremented, I equals to I plus 1, 6, this time 6 is less than equals to 5, condition goes false, and your loop will terminate. You are printing the value and you have to print the 15, so this is the sum of the n natural numbers. So this way you can understand the logic of this program. Now in this program, only thing you need to do is to square the elements. Here you need to do square of the I, and I already told you how to calculate the square. Just you need to do I double star 2, nothing else you need to do in this program. This program will work fine for the sum of the squares of the n natural numbers. So let's try to change this and let's see the again execution and understand it. Okay, so I am roughing all those because I am going to run it again, so that you can 2 times if you run this, so you will get the actual idea. So sum value I am roughing, I value I am roughing, okay, 5 I am roughing, okay, this is the value. So now let's try to run it for the, change it for the square. and run it again. So for that purpose, what I need to do, I need to change this line only. Which line I need to change? This line only. So this line and one only thing I need to change here. What I am going to change, I am writing with this some black color, so that you can get what I have changed. Sum equals to sum plus I double star 2. This is the only thing I need to do. This program will be converted into the find the sum of the square of the n natural numbers. Now how this is going to do the logic, now let me try to explain it. Let's suppose n value user has entered 5, some value is initially 0 and I value is initially 1. Now what will happen, while 1 is less than equals to 5, condition true, what we need to do, we need to execute this line, sum equals to, sum value is 0 initially, 0 plus I star 2, I value is what, 1 double star 2, 1 double star 2 will be square, 0 plus 1's square is 1, so it will be 1, so some value will become 1, I equals to I plus 1, it will become 2 here. Now let's try to execute this loop again. 2 is less than equals to 5, again condition true, sum equals to what, 0 plus 0, no, not this time sum plus, sum value is what, 1, so 1 plus, this time 1 plus, what is the value of I value is what, 2 this time, 2 star 2, and that will be 1 plus 4, and it will be what, 5. So some value will become the 5. Now next time loop I will increment it, I value is 3, next time 3 is less than equals to 5, condition again true, sum equals to, sum value is what, 5 plus I value is 3, 3 double star 2, that means 5 plus 9, that will be 14, so some value will become 14, I value incremented by 1, 4. Now let's try to 4 is less than equals to 5, condition again true. Now what we will do, we will execute this line again, sum equals to 14 plus I value is what, 4, 4 star 2, that means 14 plus 16, that will be 30. So some value become 30 now. Now I value incremented again it will become 5, 5 is less than equals to 5, condition again true. Now what we need to do, sum equals to sum value 30 plus 5 star 2, that means 5 square, so 30 plus 25, that will become the 55, so some value will become 55 now, I value becomes 6, again loop will execute, 6 is less than equals to 5, condition goes false and your loop will terminate, print the sum, it will be 55. So essentially what we are calculating, 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square. If you calculate this and add it, 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25, you will get the same answer, 5 or 9, 14, 16, 30, 30 and 25, 55. So this way you are able to solve this same problem. If you understand the logic how to add the sum of the n natural numbers, then you can calculate it sum of the square of the n natural numbers very easily. I have told you how this line is changed and this program has changed. Okay, so now let's try to go and see the Python code, because stress I have already explained you. Now we are going to see the Python code directly. Okay, so let's rush this and go to the Python code. So here I am going to write the Python code. So let's try to see it. Let's choose the green color. What I am going to do, I am going to take the number and input. So let's take integer input, enter the value of n. Remember, if you enter the value of n as 100, it will be your problem actually. It will be your problem statement. Calculate the sum of the square of the natural numbers up to n, up to 100. So if you pass the n equals to 100, then it will do the squares or sum of the squares of first 100 numbers. So I am going to take I equals to 1 here, and I am going to apply the sum equals to 0 and apply the while loop. You may use the for loop also. It depends on you. I less than equals to n, and you will do sum equals to sum plus I star 2, remember I star 2 is necessary to square, and then I equals to, don't forget to include this line. If you forget this line, this loop will never terminate, it will become infinite loop. So remember this. At the bottom of this loop you will write sum of square of n natural numbers is what? It will be some variable, whatever the value is in the sum, it will be the answer. So you can do it some other logic also, I am telling for your convenience. If you don't want to use this logic, you may use this logic also. Change this portion, I am going to change this portion, and remaining program will same. So let's try to use this logic. So what you can do here, you can include sum equals to 0. This logic also work. So what I can do, while loop I will apply, n is greater than equals to 1, and what I will do, sum equals to sum plus n double star 2, and each time you need to decrement the n value is -1, and this logic. So this is the also fine. If you understand this logic, what it will do, it will calculate, let's suppose n value is 5, then it will calculate first 5 square, then 4 square, then 3 square, then 2 square, then 1 square, and at that time loop will execute, because n value is greater than equals to 1. Up to that it will keep on adding, and after, if n becomes 0, it will terminate, and some value will be this answer. So this is also one logic. You can try this logic also, this is also fine. And you may try it using for loop also if you want same logic. So let me use some different color and show you how can we use the for loop. So there are multiple ways to solve the same problem, you got the idea. So sum equals to 0, what you can do, you can apply for I in range function. What you will pass, 1 to n. Let's say there is some space problem, so let's rough this and try to use some little bit width flat. So what you can do, you can use for I in range, and you will pass 1 to n plus 1, remember n plus 1, and then you can do same thing, sum equals to sum plus equals to, also you can use sum plus equals to the shorthand operator to do sum equals to sum plus thing. So you can use the shorthand operator also. So sum plus equals to, what you need to do, I double star 2. This way also you can do, and at the bottom you are already printing the sum value. So this is also a possible solution. So there are multiple possible solutions, and using this line you can use power function also, power n comma 2. Here you can write power I comma 2 if you want. Instead of this line you can use this line. So there are multiple ways, you got the idea. Using this line you can write power I comma 2 this way also. So these are the three logics I have explained. This is the Python code. Now let's go into the Spider editor and run it. So I will take the integer. So n equals to integer input, enter the value of n, let's say, and then what you need to do, you need to apply I equals to 1. This is the one logic I am going to show you. All the logics I will show you. Sum equals to 0, while loop, let's try while loop, and I less than equals to n, and then you do sum equals to sum plus, and I star 2 you need to write I double star 2, and then I equals to I plus 1. Not forget to do this line, and print sum of n, sum of square of n natural numbers is, if you want you can pass the natural number here, and this way also you can do, it will be very beautiful, and you will pass this sum here. So let's try to run this and give some input. Let's try to give input as 3. You know what is the value? Say 9 plus 4 plus 1, that will be 13 plus 14 should be answer. Yes, we are getting 14. So this is the sum of the square of 3 natural numbers, sum of the square of first 3 natural numbers. It will be more clear. First n natural numbers. Let's try to find the sum of the 100 values, first 100 natural numbers. It will be this one. So sum of the square of the first 100 natural numbers is 3,38,350. You can do mathematics and calculate it. So this way you can do. Another way, let's try to see the another way to solve this problem. You may use this logic, or let's try to comment this logic. I am commenting this while loop, and let's try to solve it with some other logic. So you can use this logic also. Let's try to solve with some other logic. Don't use the I here. So I am solving with multiple logics so that you can get the idea. Sum n is greater than equals to 1, and then you sum equals to sum plus what you will do, n star star 2, and then you need to keep on decrementing n equal to n minus 1, and here it is. It will also return the same result. Let's try it with 100, and it should return the, now this n will be 0 because this n is actually we are decrementing. So for that purpose what you can do, you can create the copy of this n so that you can retain the actual number n here. Okay, so let's try to do sum of the value 100. Let's try 100. It is same value is returned. So this way also you can do. Now let's try to do it with the for loop. So this is a multi-line comment. You can also do the multi-line comment if you want, whenever it is required. Let's try to solve it with for loop. For I in range, it is more bit simpler, 1 n plus 1, and then you equals to write sum plus or equals to, and I star 2, I double star 2 you will use, and here it is. That's all. So using for loop it is become lesser. Each time this was the biggest for number of lines, it reduces some extent, it reduces more up to 2 lines. So this program is getting reduced, you see, line by line. So let's try to enter the 100 again, and it should print the same value. So there are 3 logics I have shown you. So you may use any one of the logic you want or you understood, and that's all in this practical. And if you like this video, please press the like button, and thank you so much, and have a nice day. See you in the next video.